Have you ever noticed this? Public restroom doors almost never go all the way down to the floor. There's always a gap at the bottom. At first glance, it feels strange, even uncomfortable. You can't help but think, whoever designed this clearly didn't think it through. After all, this is a bathroom. Privacy should be the #1 priority, right? But here's the interesting part. That gap isn't a mistake. It's not there because no one cared. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It's a carefully thought out detail. This design isn't random, and it's definitely not an aesthetic choice. Most people don't even like it, and yet it's been used for decades. Why? Because the real reason is far more critical than it seems: safety. In a public space, completely hiding what's happening inside a closed stall isn't always a good idea. Stop and think for a moment. Imagine someone feeling unwell inside a restroom. The door is closed, locked, and there's no way to see inside. To someone passing by, everything looks normal, but inside, a person could be unconscious on the floor. That small gap at the bottom suddenly becomes crucial. It allows others to notice whether someone is standing, sitting, or lying motionless. And those few seconds of awareness can sometimes make the difference between life and death. But it's not only about emergencies. Human behavior plays a big role in this design as well. Psychology matters here. Completely isolated spaces are far more likely to be misused. When people believe no one can see them at all, they tend to behave more recklessly. In public spaces, this risk is always taken into account. The gap at the bottom is a subtle reminder that the space isn't completely invisible. That simple awareness helps reduce vandalism, inappropriate behavior, and misuse. Without realizing it, that gap shapes how people act. Then there's cleanliness, something most people never consider. Public restrooms are cleaned multiple times a day. Floors are washed, pressurized water is used, strong cleaning chemicals are applied. If the doors extended all the way to the floor, they would quickly absorb moisture, swell, rust, or rot, becoming unusable. The gap allows water to flow freely, making cleaning faster, more effective, and more hygienic. It also significantly lowers maintenance costs. Ventilation is another overlooked factor. In a sealed stall, air can't circulate properly. Odors get trapped inside and linger far longer than they should, for the person inside and for everyone waiting outside. The gap allows air to move through the stall, preventing restrooms from turning into sealed, suffocating spaces. We benefit from this constantly, even if we never notice it. There's also an economic side to this design. Shorter doors mean less material, less weight, lower production costs, easier installation, less maintenance. On a single door, the difference seems minor, but when you multiply it by thousands, by millions of public restrooms in malls, schools, airports, and public buildings, that small gap translates into massive long-term savings. So yes, that design choice quietly affects budgets too. What's especially interesting is that this design isn't the same everywhere. In the United States, the gap beneath restroom doors is usually much larger, with safety and rapid intervention being the top priorities. In Europe, the gap is more moderate, balancing privacy with practicality. In Japan, it's almost non-existent because expectations around privacy are much stronger and cleaning systems are entirely different. So this gap isn't a universal sign of carelessness. It's a reflection of local culture, safety standards, and social norms. Most of us feel uncomfortable about that gap, and that reaction is completely normal. But at the same time, we unknowingly benefit from the safety, order, hygiene, and efficiency it provides. These doors aren't designed primarily for personal comfort. They're designed so the system works smoothly. In short, public restroom doors don't reach the floor for a reason. Not because of neglect, not because of cheapness, but because of a deliberate, calculated decision that's been tested over time. And once you know this, you'll never look at those doors the same way again. And if someone asks you, where did you learn that? The answer is simple. I listened to Mr. Reco.